What's up, everyone, and welcome to the capsule. We are here with a special guest because we are, when this comes out this weekend, we will both be heading to India. So we have with us the UK champion, the king of the town, Kyron. Nice to have you here. Thanks for coming through. Also, thanks to Red Bull UK for having us here in the studio. So we just wanted to have a quick catch up before we head out, talk about your journey, talk about you, get to know you a little bit, and also hear your thoughts on the World Finals and how that's all going to go. So let's go way back to the beginning. So for people that don't know you, or are maybe people that are scoping out the competition and want to see, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, like what your background is, how you got into dance, that type of thing?
So I'm based in East London. I grew up in Oxford. I was training with a woman called Kelly Chandler. She's now called Kelly Collins. Mm-hmm. I grew up in like the competition side of the
world.
The world.
Yeah.
So a lot of like IDO and SDI were the main like competitions that I used to compete with.
More like in the crew settings or like solos?
A bit of both, you know. There were a few crews that I was in. I linked up with, I think it was Dance Vibes at one point. It was Execute, so with like Elliot Palmer.
Oh, cool. He's sick.
Yeah, and Ed Jones, and it's taking me back.
Yeah.
But I kind of grew up in the competition realm, and then when I moved to uni in 2015, I studied urban dance at UBL.
Right.
And then I joined Boy Blue in 2016.
Sick.
And then, that's when I kind of really dived more into like the Krump realm.
That was like post joining Boy Blue?
Yeah. So, when I joined Boy Blue, that's when I was like exposed to so much. And I was like, I need to be doing this.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of like hip hop theatre stuff I've been doing.
Yeah.
And man, just diving into Krump, and I feel like I found my style now where it resonates with me a lot more.
Yeah.
So man, since I've been doing Krump, like things have just...
It's so interesting because
keep elevating.
Like that's how I see you as a dancer, as a Krumper. Do you know what I mean? Or like even when you do other styles, it's like I obviously like people that have known you before you did it would maybe think of you differently. But I think because that's how I've mostly been exposed to you, I'm like, it's funny to think that wasn't your thing for the longest time. You know,
I was doing hip hop and popping, man.
Crazy. So when you first started, because you grew up in Oxford?
Yeah.
And what got you into dance? Because I guess what year would it have been when you kind of started?
Oh, I was around 7.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so that was like 20 years ago now.
Wow.
Since I started dancing. And the reason why I started dancing, I used to watch a lot of music videos. My mum would always have the music channel on. It was like MTV Bass, all of that on Virgin Media. I used to, taking it back. So there was Mario, Let Me Love You, is the main song why I started dancing.
Fair.
Sounds a bit mad because it's a very like slow song. It's not really
I'm with you though.
You know.
Nah, yeah.
But in the music video, obviously he was, cutting tutu shapes and he done like a shoulder shrug or something, and I was like, I need to learn that. So then my cousin used to dance with Kelly, and then she was like, come along. And then started training in like the local community centre. Yeah. And then I was just exposed to more, especially like within the community. I've done like a lot of like youth volunteer work at CDI. Nice. And then we had like a lot of workshops, even like with our Carla came down to do a workshop. And I think there was like other practitioners who used to come. I think Animaniacs came down as well.
Oh wow.
That was sick. So even like seeing Jeffrey like now, and being able to like work with him like for like past 2 years. Yeah,
it's like a full circle.
Yeah, it's like full cycle.
Yeah.
But so that's like
I think that's so interesting because I feel like people that are like older than me, like a lot of them started because of like Michael Jackson or that type of thing. But I do feel like, let's say like my generation, your generation, like people even a little bit younger, it's like a lot of it was like the R&B music videos. For me, it was like Marcus Houston, Mario, also like these type of people were like, oh, they look so cool when they dance. And it's like, So yeah, I do hear that like the Mario video was a inspiration. It was that era of like, okay, I want to dance like that.
Yeah, definitely with like Icebox and Mario.
Yeah, you can't miss
Usher
Mario
as well.
Yeah, Usher was a big one. Yeah, I'm sure there's a ton of people that started because of Usher.
Yeah.
But so that was when you were like 7 or 8 and you wanted to just kind of learn a few moves. And then was there something that changed in the sense of like, okay, I went there to just learn this little Mario shoulder shrug thing, but like what kept you in it for like what made you?
I think for me, I think it was just like the environment that I was living in. So like dance really became an escape for me, and kind of had me on a particular path where I'm just focused.
Okay.
And like a lot of the times, like if I was naughty or if, you know, I'll get in trouble in school, my mum would be like, you're not dancing. And like, she'd be like, you're not going this week because you haven't done or you haven't like hit your grades or whatever. And it's like, okay, cool. So I knew there was consequences if I wasn't like, it's like my peace being taken away.
Wow.
So I think, yeah, I think it's when I went to the World Championships with IDO for the first time, and I was like 9. I was like 9 or 10, and that kind of opened up my eyes because it was like, I think Flawless were there, and then it was like Unity UK as well back in the day with Jay, Biz, the OGs, and I was like, yeah. So when I saw all of them at competitions as well, it inspired me more to just be like, I want to be like these. And then obviously seeing Flawless on Brain's Got Talent, and yeah, I was just there like, yeah, I need to be doing this. Yeah, I need to be doing this. But yeah, I think that's what kind of changed. Is like most probably like the mindset and the environment that I was in to just be like dance. And even like all of like my cousins, my older like, you know, brethrens on school, all of that type of stuff, they were always like, yeah man, keep pushing it, pushing it. And when I done like little local competitions and stuff, and you win some prize money and stuff like that, I was like, yeah.
And this feels good.
This feels good. Yeah. I won some money to dance, and I was like, yeah. So when the doors kind of opened in that aspect, I was like, I could, proper take this further, and just
It kind of gave you a little like, oh, there's somewhere to go with this.
Yeah, most definitely.
That's interesting about your mum as well, because I feel like if there was like kids that were like being naughty in school, you could like push them more to go to dance to like do something, whereas she was like doing it as like a punishment, which is actually like worked out really well because that made you value it more, maybe.
Yeah. No, definitely.
That's crazy.
Like even, I got into a bit of trouble when I was like 16, and my mum was like, yeah, you're not going to the youth club, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. After school, you're coming straight home. And I was like, So I think that period where my mum was a bit disappointed in me. Okay. That's when I was like, nah, I need to change this, because I started, not like I was hanging around with the wrong people or such, but, boys will be boys, and we're just out, just being stupid. Yeah, just being stupid and like, just causing mayhem and stuff like that. Like, and then that's when I was like, yeah, okay, cool. I was kind of leading down a road where it could have just spiraled down, but then, like there was just little things that always brought me back on path. And even like my friends as well, like they were always supportive with me and always telling me to do that. Like if I wasn't dancing, I used to like, go out to like parties and stuff, and then if the elders are like, what, you still dancing? And if I was like, nah, I'm not really dancing as much, they'd be like, no, you got to dance.
Oh, really?
Like,
and these are people that don't dance?
Yeah, these are the people that don't dance, who are just, in the streets, I would say. But they push you? Yeah, they push me.
Oh, that's
like,
interesting.
They still push me. Because they always say, yeah, don't take the path I took. Right. It's like, if I had something when I was your age, that like, things would have been different for me. And he's like, yeah, keep doing it. He's like, I like to see when other people do well. And yeah, it's just like that kind of motivation what really helped.
Would you say it's like it gave you like how do I say that, like it gave you you had something to lose, so like if there's other people that maybe they didn't have anything to lose, they were just like, all right, well, I might as well be doing whatever. But you were like, okay, and like I guess that your mum reinforced that, but like if I go down this path, I'm going to lose this, and that's more important to me than doing this nonsense.
Yeah, definitely, especially because like how passionate I am with dance and like the relation to music and just expressing. Yeah. it's no other feeling. Like, I can't explain the feeling. And you know, like when you touch stage and, you know, preparing for shows and stuff like that, even when I was younger, there was a thing called Streets Ahead. And we used to perform at like the London Palladium and stuff. We loads of like street dance schools across the UK, and they get together, they make a set, and then they take it to the stage and stuff. So like them little things there, when I'm like, oh, I'm coming to London, I'm doing this, my parents and, you know, people can come watch me on stage and stuff. So I think that's where the motivation is and what kind of keeps the drive. Yeah.
And I feel like it's interesting because coming from somewhere that's like, I mean, you're not far from London, but like Oxford's not like in London. And I spoke to Harry Barnes about the same thing, where it's like, I mean, maybe it's my like, what do you call that? Like prejudice or like whatever, that like, I would think that those like small towns would be like, oh, what, you dance? That's weird. And like kind of, but then it's like Harry's the same. He's got like all these friends who are like not dancers, and they come to battle, they support him so much. And it sounds like you had that in Oxford as well, where it's like, even if it's not common for people to dance, like, and maybe it's like an older mentality that like maybe from like when I was a kid or like the generations above me, whereas like if you did something different, you would be made fun of. It sounds like you had the opposite, where it's like you did something different and people were proud of you because of that. Yeah,
definitely. Especially in my later years. I mean, in primary school and stuff like that, like, kids, you know, kids are kids. And like, people would make fun of me, like to say that I'm a girl and stuff like that. I had long hair and I danced. Okay. Stuff. So there were little things, but it was just a bit like, nah, because then when I started, I would say, when I actually started getting better at dancing. Yeah. You know, people would be at like parties, you know, it's like end of year, like prom parties and stuff. And they were like, yo,
come and dance.
They be like, teach me something. And, you know, it's there. So I think it's, just like the community of that is really nice. Yeah.
And it's a good lesson in like pushing through, because it's like whenever you start something new, and we're all a bit like, it's the beginning and you haven't quite figured it out, and then that's when people are going to make jokes or whatever. Yeah. But then when it starts to work, people are like, come around and be like, I was wrong. Yeah. So then, okay, so you left Oxford to come to uni. So that's when you first moved to London?
Yeah, that's when I first moved to London. I used to come to London quite a lot, actually, when I was younger.
Okay. You said for like the shows and stuff?
Yeah, for like different shows. And I had a youth scholarship, actually, at Erdine. Oh, wow. So I was there from when I was like, I think I got it when I was like 16. So I'd done it for a year. It was a good experience. I did enjoy it, because it opened up my eyes to other things that I wasn't used to.
Because that was like musical theatre,
ballet, dance, and me singing was,
mate.
That's why I'm a mover, man. But so like that was really nice. But I'm glad I done that, because it was like, I don't actually want to go down that road. I would rather do something what still like aligns with what I want to do.
And you never know until you try it.
Yeah. And then my boy Trey, my cousin Trey, best friend Trey, he was going to UEL. Okay. And I wasn't gonna go to UEL. I wanted to do music production to begin with.
Sick.
And then I was gonna do applied performance in Birmingham. Actually, I was sold. I went to Birmingham and I was like, I'm gonna be here. And then I think I went to the audition, and then I saw Jack Saunders, and then I was like, and Jack Manley was there as well in my audition. And then I saw another guy called Omar, who I met literally like 2 weeks before my audition. Oh wow!
But the other guy, you didn't know anyone else.
But then
really?
And then I was like, it makes sense for me to go here. Like, I think the calling is here. But I just didn't want to go to the same place as Trey to begin with. Okay. Because I was like, other people are going to go to this uni. There were some other people who were going to go to the uni as well. And I was like, I'm not really too fond of like, being around in the same like proximity and stuff. But then I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. And then, I just feel like it's one of the best decisions I've made. Oh, wow. Like I've met so many great people. So many great people from UEL. And then, that's when I was like, I'm just going to stay here in East. So I've been here like on and off from like 2015, because that's when I started the course, graduated 2018. And I was like, I'm just staying in London. And then I think I went home after, I think it was like 2022. Yeah, man.
Pandemic times, or no? That was after.
No, it was after. I was still here during pandemic.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was great, man.
You braved it out.
I had a great time.
Did you?
All my days, I had a great time. I think it's because, like, when Trey and Jack passed, like, my brain was in such a pickle because, obviously, you know, it was so close.
Yeah.
It's like day after.
Yeah.
You know? And that put my brain in such a pickle, and I was working, and I was still training. I was just kind of just pushing through.
Yeah.
But then lockdown happened, and then I was like, I just had to chill. I just chilled. And because who I used to live with, Junior and my boy George, yeah, shout out to them, man, because, yeah, they helped me through a lot. Yeah. And it was just nice because the weather was banging. Like, I wasn't, not to be like, I wasn't around my mum, but my mum was working, she works at a care home, so she saw the other side of lockdown, what I didn't see. So for me, I was like, bro, I'm calm. My mum was telling me, oh, this and this, and I was like, I'm kind of glad I'm here now, you know? Like, not to be like, you're going through something, but to like, but to
to be happy that you got like, the good end of the stick.
Yeah, I got the good end, good end of it. So, yeah, that was really nice.
Fair. And so, so you said, while you were in uni, you joined Boy Blue?
Yeah. So the first year I went to uni, that's when that was like my final year at IDO at the World Championships. And I won that year as well. Sick. And me and Trey, we won the university pairs. I won the university solos. I think I came back with like 3 or 4 titles that year. And then there was a whole post about, like, you know how the news is, like, how they just, like, this is the best hip hop. I was just like,
a local boy from Oxford, like,
man.
Sweeps.
And like, I got a bit of stick from that, like, on Facebook and stuff.
Really?
Like, because, you know, people were like trying to say that I'm claiming to be the best, and I'm not claiming to be the best. I'm not claiming to be the best hip hop dancer. I just won the World Championships that you man didn't qualify for. So, do you know what I mean? But like, within myself, I'm like, I'm the best, but I would never really portray to be like I'm the best.
Yeah, right.
I will let my dance do the talking, and then that would be it. I like to stay humble because I choose that. I like that. I like to say it's a choice to stay humble, you know? So the ego don't talk too much.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So then Boy Blue was in uni?
Yeah, 2016. Yeah, 2016 I joined. And then, just done like EOE with them. And it was nice to kind of like be with, like, because when I joined, there was like TC, there was Curtis, Funk, all of the Theo, even Dean. Like, Dean was still about. There was just like a lot of the OGs were still there, and it was just inspiring because it was like, I want to perform with these guys. I want to touch stage with them. And I think the first show I'd done with them was the World of Dance. I think that was 2017. It might have been 2017, and then...
So you were straight in.
Yeah, so it was straight in, and they were doing Black, White, Grey. Then that's when we done Project Rebel. And it was nice. Yeah, it was really sick to, like, kind of be in the process of Black, White, Grey. Like, just going and just seeing rehearsals. Like, sometimes I would just message Ken and be like, can I come to rehearsals and just watch? And he'd be like, come through.
That's, like, great experience.
So it's really nice, and yeah, big up Ken for that, man, because he's always welcoming people to be like, come through, like, even just to watch and observe. Like, you learn a lot, and the conversations, like, what people will have in the rehearsals, and just seeing, like, from start to finish.
But I've said this so many times, but it's like, with anyone that's trying to learn stuff, sometimes I'm like, just get yourself in the room. Like, you don't have to be hired as a dancer to like be, like, even sometimes when I've been there, like, taking pictures, I'm learning from the choreographer, because I'm shooting and I'm like, that's really true. You know? And it's like, you just being in the room, like, you can pick up so much stuff. And now I guess doing the work you're doing, you're probably like taking lessons from Black, White, Grey rehearsals, which you weren't even dancing in, but you were like just sitting in there going like, right, I'm going to take that, apply it later.
Yeah, especially the training aspects. Training aspects. So
like hardcore?
The burpee stuff. What is he? Yeah, it's a swear word where he calls it. So I'm not even going to say it, but there's a...
just hardcore exercise.
And it's like, once you get tired, he's like, carry on. Carry on, keep going. But it's good because I feel like it builds the resilience and the willpower to just keep pushing, especially like through Krump as well. That Krump is so hard. It's just a lot of energy. But once you've reached that point where you feel like stopping, the Krumpers always push you to go further. And then like you reach that live state and it's just an unbelievable feeling. And like once you finish the round, everyone's like,
yeah, right.
Because you've gone to a space spiritually where people can relate to you. So that's what I really like. That's what I really love about dance in general, is that like it's a universal language. You don't have to talk to anyone to understand what they're going through, as well as, you know, like just them expressing their dance.
100%. And this is like, you notice it, I think you notice it the most when you travel, because it's like you're ciphering and it's like someone that's from France, from Japan, from wherever. Yeah. And then you're like, we couldn't even communicate if we wanted to, but we understand what's happening. We understand, like, you know, when you see a good popper from Japan, like they don't need to translate anything. It's just good dance, you know? And I think, what I find interesting about like the way you're telling the story, or like the different stages, is like, I feel like from the competition stuff to the UEL to Boy Blue to Krump, like all of that, like you've had really like supportive, like almost like family environments, it sounds like. And I feel like that's not that it's not common, but not everybody has that experience. Do you know what I mean? Like they're not lucky enough to have, there's a lot of like lone wolves. Whereas I feel like each stage you've had really like heavy supportive environments. Do you feel like that as well?
Yeah, when I look back on things, I do feel like that. But I feel like it's also the place, is how you place yourself. And you know, when people say you're a product of your environment, like, so like growing up, Oxford, you could say it's posh or whatever, but then if you, not to be like, oh yeah, look at the stats and like, we're bad man and that. Like, I'm not trying to promote that, but it's like, you know, when you've lived and seen certain stuff, and it's like, okay, cool, community is a big thing. And community has always been a big thing for me. Like without CDI, like Marsha and Kelly, and just allowing the space for me to just express, like, that's where I'm like, yeah, cool. And then like coming to uni, obviously I've been taught by Ken from when I was at most probably around 9. From when I started dancing, because Ken used to come to Oxford to teach. So did Dwayne Taylor, Jeffrey, other people from Animaniacs. I'm trying to think. There was the game as well, Kofi game.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so there was there was a few others, but that's just off the top of my head. But yeah, like that's why I was like, community is just a good thing, and going to Boy Blue is just like, it's just like a family, and just kind of just mixing in quite nicely. Also meeting Kelsey, Tanea, and all of that. And even when I came to uni, actually, I think it was Curtis Butler. He messaged me and was like, "Oh, you're around to do X Factor," and this is when, like, you know, that was like the first job I was like exposed to. I mean, done it for free, innit? Like now, I'd most probably be like, "Nah, I'm not doing that for free." You know what I mean? But back then, it's like, okay, cool. And then I feel like a lot of people did speak about it as well, because there were people, you know, that TC was on it as well. And that's when I kind of met most of the guys, really, like Stefano, even like Corey, Savage. That's where I met most of them. And then it's just like I always find myself intertwining with them. Like recently, I've bumped into pretty much all of them. And it's just like the full cycle moments where just keep happening, where I've seen people when I'm younger, and then I bump into them, and then I work with them, and then we're training together. So like the community is key. That's why I always say, like, I just it's nice.
And I think it's a reflection on you as well, that if the people that you meet like stay in your life, and it's a reoccurring thing that they stay in your life, it's like it shows that you're a good guy, you know. And it's like it's not only like the community that's supporting you, you're obviously contributing to the community aspect as well. And that's why it, like, you know, those themes carry through, I guess.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But I feel like also like Krump is like, I mean, like UEL is obviously, you're going to get that family vibe because it's like you're with everyone every day for 3 years. But I think like, and Boy Blue is a very like tight-knit like company. But then also Krump as a whole style, I feel like is very like support. Even the way people support each other.
Yeah.
In like, can you talk about that a little bit? Because like I know a little bit, but for people that don't know about Krump, it's not the same as like a popping training session.
Yeah.
Like we'll just watch each other and be like, oh, that was cool. But Krump is like hyping people is part of the. It's like a responsibility if you're coming to a session, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think it was Shaq. Shaq said something a while ago, and he said, "Don't hype when you see something great. Hype to see something great."
Oh,
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like you hype them, so then they take the energy and then they can create something. Like instead of waiting for something to be like, oh, that was sick. But like if they're already in a pocket, like even like with popping, they come in, they're already in that pocket. In my mind, I'm hyping that pocket already because I know that they're in the pocket and they're gonna do something, hit one musicality on 1/8 or whatever. But with Krump, it's very, because obviously it's a very spiritual style. Kingdom, radically uplifting, mighty praise. So yeah, just I feel like with dance as well. I'm just gonna go back to dance in general, but like people dance for an escape, and I feel like Krump is one of the best styles to release everything. Because it's people can look at it as like it's a very aggressive style. And like even the concepts and stuff, like, I like to use guns quite a lot, concepts, and shoot people, but it's hard to explain because I don't feel like I'm an aggressive person. But it's for me to then show my aggression and really like release, and once you bang one arm swing or you're doing like a mad chest pop, it's like you contain the energy and it's like bam, and then it's just like a quick release. And I feel like there's no faking it. You have to believe in what you're doing, and you have to feel the moment in everything. And it's very precise as well. Like even when I was learning Krump, like mentally there was a lot that I had to sort out for myself mentally in order for my dance to progress.
Like what sort of thing?
So overthinking as such. So like with Krump, everyone always says, take your time, take your time, take your time, take your time. It's your round. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. Don't rush. And then I feel like coming from like, hip hop and the popping background, it's like, I just want to show you all my shapes and let me get out and do this and do that. But then with Krump, it's like, it's very direct. So when I used to overthink, I didn't believe in the movement I was doing. So if I'm not believing in the movement, how can you believe in my movement? So that's where I had to sort myself out mentally to be like, I know that this jab is gonna land and I'm gonna feel this jab. And then like even like with concepts, I have a thing about squeezing. I kind of got it from That's a Raven, like the juicer.
Oh God, it's been a while since I saw that.
So the juicer, like when he takes the lunchbox and he just squeezes.
Oh right.
So in my mind, it's like when I squeeze something, it's like I take someone's head off and squeeze it, and then like rinse it out and all of that type of stuff.
Sick.
But it's like it's just a concept. But then it's like I have to believe that I'm squeezing someone.
The intention
instead
has
of just
to be
doing this, because you can go squeeze, but it's like, okay, what are you squeezing? I'm squeezing someone's head. I'm trying to pop their head open. And I watch a lot of like anime stuff as well, so like a lot of action movies and stuff, so that's like I think where a lot of inspiration does come from as well. I feel like a lot of dancers watch anime and get a lot of inspiration from there as well, because Concrete done a post actually not too long ago,
something about that,
and then there was even what's his name, it was UFC. Was Israel Adi?
Oh yeah. Adesanya.
So there was, when he does this, dum. So there was a round that Concrete posted, and he was like, my inspiration was, from this UFC fighter.
Sick.
And then like he was just using it, and even like the way Conor McGregor walks and stuff like that. So I have like a little concept where I play with that.
Sick. Izzy used to dance.
Yeah. He crumbs because there was one. What is it? Fight he came out to, and then he had Krumpers in that there.
And he did like windmills or something.
I was like, crazy.
That's crazy.
That is mad.
So when it comes now to the Red Bull Dance Your Soul UK finals, were you going in thinking I'm going to win, or I could win, or where was your mind at going into that?
My mind was like, damn. Like, cause Jordan Douglas is crazy. He's been one of my favorite crumpers for a minute. Like his belief and and even like when I saw them at Breaking Convention, Far From the Norm, and how it was, just I was like, okay, cool.
One thing that, and this is I think a strength of yours and his, but it's like one thing that battlers underrate is like, when people are experienced on stages, they're dangerous. It's like you might have battled loads, but if somebody like you or Jordan have performed across the world on huge stages, it's like, I'm not going to get in your head. I'm not going to be more comfortable than you on this big stage because you live on these big stages. It's like you can be really technically strong, but it's like people like you guys, it's like, all right, you have to remember they live here. Like you're in their house in front of thousands of people, and it's like you're used to little ciphers and stuff, and it's I think that's a whole other skill set that you guys have.
I think with the Red Bull UK finals, I feel like because I battled A Dot first. He's sick.
How did he get there? He qualified, I think, in the London qualifier.
I think so. Because I actually met him. I think it might have been in my first year of uni. This is when we done the Dance Association. We went to Go Hard, Go Home. And it was in Nottingham. I think he went to Nottingham University as well.
Yes, he was up there, somewhere up there.
Yeah, he come through like popping. I was like, this guy is sick. And then like, we just carried on like linking up and stuff. So when I had him first, I was like, okay, cool. This is going to be,
straight out the gate.
This is going to, straight out the gate. And then I think I had Paris next, man.
I
was like, damn.
That was one of the best.
I've just done cycles with her. She's so technical as well. Like she's amazing. Me personally, I was like, I didn't think that I would have won that round. When I look back at the footage, I was like, I was hanging on. I was hanging on. But there was one music, that ski.
Oh, it's the Cardi B one?
Is it
Cardi B?
This was Sexy Red? Sexy Red?
Oh.
Yeah. I'm not really a fan of that. Of like, I like the beat, but like, I don't really listen to that music as such. I mean, I do like the kind of like trap music and, Future and Young Thug and Lil Baby and all of that. But I was just a bit like, this song, I was thinking everyone's gassed about this song, but I'm not.
But again, this goes back to the performance thing, because it's like, as battlers, I think our tendency is like, we like to dance the songs that we like. But as a performer and a battler, you're used to it. Like there might have been in your whole life, there might have been choreo that you weren't a fan of, but you still have to go out and bang it.
You just got to do it.
So you were used to that way more than like another battler who will just be like, I don't like this song, and we all see that. And then we don't like you because it's like
you don't like the
what
song.
you said about Krump. It's like if you don't believe in this stuff, we don't believe in it. If you don't like the song, we don't like the song.
Yeah. It was crazy, man. And then I had Sammy next, Mr. Vims.
Oh yeah. You had a tough run.
Yeah, he's such a performer.
Yeah.
And I was like, And
I think whoever he had the round before, he did really good. I think he was on a good.
Was he? I think he might have been against Kalen.
It could have been, yeah.
I think he was against Kalen.
I remember thinking, this is going to be a tough one.
Yeah, and like, he's a very like showboaty. I wouldn't say showboaty, but like he's a great performer.
Yeah.
He has great. What's the word?
Like presence.
Yeah, great presence. He's just a nice guy, man. Like,
great.
Yeah, you can just see it through his dance. Like he's just genuine and just like it's just happy. It's just vibes. So I was like, okay, cool. So when I was watching him battle other people, I was like, I'm trying to take notes. And be like, okay, that works. Let me see if I can get the crowd on my side. And then so when I was battling Sapien, I think just before we was going on, for some reason he took his trainers off, and I was like, in my mind, I was thinking, oh, damn, he's taking his trainers off. He's going to go into a different realm. But in my mind, I was like, nah, you've lost, G. Like, when I look back at it, I'm like, bro, you lost. You've taken your trainers off. Nah, you've lost. Like, in my mind, I was thinking, yeah, you've lost. And then Clark's came on, and I was like, you ain't got no shoes on.
You got nothing to...
And in one of the lyrics, it says, like, cheesy foot. And I think I went up to him, and I was like, cheesy foot. Because he ain't got no shoes. And then, yeah, so when that song came on, I was like, yeah.
Yeah, because I guess it's like
I was so gassed.
You could look at that as like a thing of, oh, like you said at the beginning, he's going to go into another realm. But you could twist that in your head to be like, that's something I can use against you somehow, you know?
And yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. I was thinking, yeah, you've taken your trainers off. And like, yeah, I was overthinking. And then I looked around, but luckily, like, I had my peoples there as well, man. Like Big Mally, my boy Jimmy. Yeah, there was a few, man. Obviously, people from Free Your Mind as well were there. And it was just nice. Yeah, Hannah as well, Toby Stannard. Yeah. As well. They big up them as well because they threw some nice rounds.
Oh yeah, true.
And yeah, it was just nice to I just felt really supportive. Or supported. Yeah. Yeah. And then from when Clark's came on, I was like, yeah,
I got this in the bag.
The Caribbean is coming out. Sick. I was like, yeah.
Sick. And so I think the thing that's interesting with Dance Your Style is like, because I had this conversation with someone at the finals, I forget who it was, and they were saying like, what did you think? Because they had lost, and they were asking me like, what do you think? And I was like saying to them, if I was judging, I might have voted for you, but that's not the competition. The competition is get the crowd to vote for you. So I was like, it kind of doesn't matter what any one person would have voted for, because the name of it's like, yeah, if this was a popping battle, I would have won, but it's a hip hop battle, so it doesn't matter. Yeah. So I think it's like, that's what I find really interesting about Dance Your Style, is that it's like, and again, this is why I think people like you and Jordan and people and even Sammy like thrive, where it's like when you're used to crowds and stages, like I think you would hopefully agree, but like anyone that's performed, you realise that there's like a whole art to stagecraft. Like you can't just walk out on stage and just do moves. Like you have to understand the stage, the spacing, where the audience are, what they can see. So is that something that you consciously used? Were you like, I know how to get crowds, or do you think it just came out naturally?
A bit of both. I just wanted to have fun. I can remember going into the final just thinking, I just want to pass the first round. Yeah, right. Just want to pass the first round. It's like, okay, cool, pass the first round. And then after I done that, I was like, okay, cool, I'm just gonna have fun now. Like, don't really care about the outcome.
Remind me, sorry, were you a wild card or did you qualify?
I qualified at Move It. So
okay, cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I qualified at Move It. That was crazy, man. Yeah. Because I had to perform.
Oh my God.
On the main stage, and I can remember I went backstage and I was speaking to some of the staff. Yeah. And luckily I knew them. I knew some of them because they done Free Your Mind. Yeah. And I was like, I'm meant to be on the freestyle stage. I said, I got to do the finals. And they were like, yeah, you can't do it. I was like, what? What do you mean I can't do it? She was like, oh yeah, main stage is a priority. I said, for who? Like, yeah, what do you mean it's a priority?
For you, maybe.
Yeah, for you. I was like, all right, cool. And because I was performing with Kelsey, my G.
It was his piece?
It was his piece. Okay. And I was like, I said to Kelsey, I looked at him, and I was like, bro, I'm going. So I'm sorry, man.
Just delay this 5 minutes.
I said, bro, I will be on stage. Trust me, I'll be on stage. So I done it, battled against Toby. And then, yeah, when I won, taking a photo, and my phone's ringing in my pocket. Phone's ringing, I'm taking a photo, and I'm like, yeah, he's like, bro, we're going on right now. I said, all right, cool. Left the freestyle stage. I ran to the main stage, and I literally had like a sip of water, and then I went on stage on the front tuck, and I was like, yeah, ready to do the set.
That was your warm-up.
That was my warm-up. That was the warm-up. I was like, yeah. But yeah, that was
a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot, but it was like I kind of had to do what I needed to do, man. Yeah. It was like I was in two minds, either to please other people or to do what I wanted to do.
You managed both.
And I managed both. So it was like, yeah, as long as things are manageable and like I just kept the communication there.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
for sure.
okay, cool. What time frame is it on? Because Toby was texting me when I was backstage, and I was like, have they started the round yet?
Yeah.
I said, tell Clara I'll be there in like 2 minutes.
Yeah, Clara and Kelsey, please, both.
Like,
help me out.
Help me out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was good,
Yeah.
man. I liked that one.
So you said when you went to the UK finals, you were like, you just want to get past first round.
Yeah,
that was the main thing.
That was just the main thing. Just getting past the first round and just having fun.
Yeah.
But one thing as well that like I've learned from Boy Blue is like when you create a character. I think this was when I was in like the Black White Grey rehearsals, and we was also rehearsing for Project Rebel, so we had to create our own character. So Nightcrow is an acronym of Chiron, so it's like an alter ego of myself. That's why I kind of using him in Krump more so because I don't get aggressive. I don't like being aggressive.
Right.
But I can be aggressive in Krump, and I can be aggressive.
It's like an outlet.
Yeah. When like if I need to. So with that, like being a character and going onto stage, and all of the other performances that I've done, like including Trap Lord really helped as well. I would say Trap Lord definitely helped with locking in.
The Trap Lord's really intense as a performer, even to watch. So being on stage must be.
And it's like. It's mad because when I do Trap Lord, I'm like, who can I intimidate today? It's one of them ones like, who can I go up to and make them feel uncomfortable? Not necessarily because I want to, but just because I can. Obviously, it's part of the show, it's
and
part of the character
well,
and the persona. But also, it's like a challenge to be like, can my presence alone, me just standing there, just being in a certain space, make someone look away? That's all it is. Like, I walk up to someone, I just make sure, just stare at them in their eye, and if they look away, I'm like, okay, cool, I'm gonna leave you alone. Feel a bit uncomfortable now. I'm not gonna try and make you. But yeah, even that, like that was really good, because if I'm gonna put it onto the Red Bull stage, I can look at people in their eyes, but then have a different persona where it's more happy.
Instead of making them look away, you can make them smile.
And it's. Yeah, I just feel like the kind of showboating and like, getting people on your side and clapping, I think that's what I was focusing on a lot more.
Okay.
Because when I watched, I think even Kalen done really well in his first round. I was watching him because obviously he was cramping. I was watching Sapien as well.
Yeah.
I was watching Jordan a lot. Because every round he was
on fire.
Yeah, he was on fire, man. I was like, because I was just, sometimes Krump doesn't get, people don't understand it. So it's hard to read at times, but if you're a dancer, you understand it a bit more.
Yeah.
But trying to get Krump on your side, or like on the audience's side is hard. But I just feel like the energy of Krump.
That's the thing that I think saves it, because it's like, it's less, like something like breaking or popping are really easy to understand in a way. It's like, all right, someone's upside down, cool. Or someone's doing like the robot or whatever, cool.
Yeah.
Krump is like harder to understand, but it's way, like let's say popping is easy to look at, but it's hard to get on board. Like popping doesn't get people off their feet. Krump gets people off their feet, even if they don't quite know why. It's like, just that energy is infectious, I think. They're just like, I don't know what I'm looking at, but I love it.
Yeah, man. And I feel like that's where like, all the terms of like the hype and the live and the and just like, just the Krump feeling, just the bangs, and I feel like all of the terminology has a like, even like the jabs, day ones,
it's all like a bit
snaps, and I think Krump, obviously it's one of the newest styles, and it takes inspiration from a lot of things. So with hip hop, it's very much with like the Busta Rhymes, like the kind of Crip type of stuff, and all of the kind of like gang signs as such. And then like the power, I would say, comes from the popping. Comes and even the control. From popping.
There's some Krumpers are like, their control is insane.
It's crazy.
Most Krumpers.
The control. and that's why I'm kind of glad I learned hip hop, popping, and even like house, for like your footwork and how light you can be. But the more grounded you are, the more power you have within Krump. And I just love Krump. I just love Krump so much. And I feel like it's a vulnerable style as well, like, because you do have your heart on your sleeve and like the passion, and I feel like that's what gets people up, because of the belief in it. And you can see, like, sometimes they're not even watching any, like, people would just start Krump can start like this, and then they're just in their own world, and it's like I want to know more of that world.
100%. Krump is like one of the, like, I always talk about that with like hip hop dancers or poppers, when it's like you said about building your round and taking I'm like, go watch Krumpers. Whackers I think are up there as well with Krumpers, but not
their presence is,
it's like the way that I noticed that from the like first couple of battles I went to, like 2007, 8, I was like watching Krumpers. It was like Wet Wipes and like Dominant and those guys.
Dominant's crazy.
And it's like we're there like doing our round, and it's like they're taking like 20 seconds of a 60-second round to just stand and look at someone while I walk around the stage, and I'm like, this is sick. And it's like they're not worried about wasting time. It's like they're building the round, and when you do, even if they like build up and the round is like 15 seconds long, it's worth it for the wait. So it's like, it's such a, I really think more people should like study with Krumpers, even if you're not going to do Krump, but like session with them or whatever to learn the performance skills. I think
it's like crazy. A whole intro, like intros, man. I had my fair share of trying to start these rounds. I can remember just being in like the lab and I start a round, and then the big homie's like, nah, I'll go again, bro.
Oh, really?
Yeah, be like, pause the music. Like midway through your round, I won't pause the music. Nah, let's go again. You're like, fuck.
Because the intro wasn't good enough, or it was...
Yeah, not even like it wasn't good enough, but like in a sense where you can take your time, you can do better. So it's like...
Oh, like you're rushed into quick.
Yeah, like sometimes you can, like, even if, you know, just using this for example of like, you know, picking up the glass. And then it's like pouring the water. And it's like, okay, when you pour the water, do you want the water to come out? Or do you want to flick it back up? Screw it back on, place it. But then it's like, I've known that I've placed it. Boom, drop it. Pick it back up. So it's like, things have to be consistent. And like, what I like to say as well is like, milk out the movement for as long as possible. So even like if you're doing this, like how many different ways can you lift up the arm?
Before you move on.
Before you move on to another space, and like power in your poses, power in your stances. And it's like, I think the natural mannerisms is what people can relate to. And I think that's what grasps people quite a lot. Because someone could do something mad crazy, like, even, I feel like you said it before, like everyone would do something mad, go back, and then come up and then just start doing this. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, a Krumper can do mad arm swings, bam, 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 and then look at you and just be like, safe.
I think that's what Jordan J-Funk did so well when he won Dancer Style UK, was like, I think I was talking about this when we spoke about that event, but like, every round had like a theme, or which I think is like more common in Krump anyway. But you know, it's like a window that he's going through and turn it. But it's like the side effect, or maybe that was the reason he was doing it, is that the audience have something, even if they don't understand. They're like, oh, that's the round where he's got the glass of water, and that's the whole concept. Whereas some people just do a bunch of things which are good, but as an audience member, you're like, you don't have something to hold on to. You're like, okay, it just was a walkout and then a bug roll and then a wave and now you're done. Like this is like, oh, he's telling me a story. You know?
Keeps it conceptual. And one thing as well, like when I was doing trap with Warren YLG, because obviously we're rapping in the show as well, so we're writing some bars and all of that type of stuff, and he's like, dance, he says dance your lyrics. So I'm like, okay, cool. And then that's one way where you can like obviously make choreo from the words.
You're right.
I think what's the word Ken says? Is it like today is a good day, and then even with today is a good day. So it's like the rhythmic pattern as well as maybe the shapes of the letter. Yeah, the shapes of the letter, what the letter means and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, even like with obviously trap, and I'm trying not to go violent, but like my mind just goes violent. But even if like, I don't know, if you wanted to, so for me, I'm doing something like this.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've got a knife in my hand, I'm taking out out and then like pulling out their guts.
Yeah.
And you can pull it back in and sew it back up.
Yeah, right.
So then it's like, that's where my concept is. And like even like yesterday at the OV battle, I was like, yo, I was shooting him, taking the bullets out, throwing it back in.
It's quite a common thing in battles anyway, because the whole thing is like as a replacement for violence. So it's like that. I think that's the you know, you said about violent stuff, but it's like that's the whole thing of dance battles. Is like they started as, let's not do this in real life, let's act it out in a safe way and get that, like you said, like let it all out in the battle, and then shake hands and be friends. Like But okay, so last and most importantly, not this weekend, but it will be when this comes out for people listening. India. So first, how excited are you?
I'm excited. I am very excited, but I feel like for me, excitement comes in different ways, man. I would say I'm nervous, but I'm not like, I just feel like I'm nervous because it's India,
right?
And it's in a whole different
way out of
like it's going to be a cultural shock. And like, it's going to be different to Manchester. I don't have my peoples. So in Manchester, I felt really comfortable because I've been in Manchester before, know a lot of the dancers and the community up there. And, you know, I just had people, I had my friends there. Obviously GSB and that were battling as well in the crew battles. So it was sick. But obviously now I'm knowing, you know, obviously coming there as well.
I'll be screaming
so
from behind the camera.
There's going to be other people. I can't remember, someone else told me that they were coming as well. Oh, Jevon.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Sick.
He said that he's gonna come.
I'm sure there'll be people out there that we know.
Yeah. So it's just I'm excited to network, man. I'm really excited to network because I went to Summer Dance Forever this year. And that was nice. I didn't really speak to a lot of people because I just sometimes the social and like. I'm a person where I always wait for the opportunity where it's right to approach people. Where it's organic. I don't want to go up to people and it's like,
let's be friends.
Let's be friends. But there's Hector, who I met in Copenhagen. He's representing Denmark.
Oh, nice.
So it'll be nice to link up with him. And man, I'm excited. I'm excited to network. It's gonna be just a big stage. And I was talking to a lot of people, and it's just like, it's a place to just showcase myself.
100%, man.
I've done a lot of things with other people, and it's been great. You know, I've been able to you know, work my way, but this is me. And just organically Kyron. So I just want to have fun, show the world what I can do, and then hopefully more and more comes out of it. I just want to travel more, man. Just want to be. I feel like dance. It's hard, man, because I don't want to be like, like the UK don't respect dancers, but in a sense where, you know, the funding is quite. It's very hard. It's very limited. But like, you know, when I went to Hamburg, just like the community is sick, man. It's proper good. I like the community here. Don't get me wrong. I do love the community. I love everyone in it.
But when you are from somewhere, you notice that
you notice some different issues. But when you go to like other places, like people just cypher constantly.
Do you
know what I mean? But here we're like, nah, we gotta make a living. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like cypher don't pay bills.
For real.
But
but I think also with India, like you don't have like your people out there, and you don't have like that kind of support, let's say, on that stage. But I think the upside of that is like no one's seen you there. Like none of the audience will know your dance. So everything you do is going to be fresh for them. You know what I mean? So it's like,
that's true.
Even like, I'm sure like battling in London, or especially more in the Krump scene, it's like, you're probably a little bit conscious of like, all right, I do this thing a lot, or let me not repeat this too much. It's like anything you throw out there is brand new. So it's like, that's kind of the upside of not having your people, is like, you're also a fresh face that you're like, let me introduce myself in the way that I want to. No expectations, no preconceptions of you. They don't even know you're a Krumper. You know what I mean? Unless they go and watch your videos and stuff. But like walking onto the stage, it's like you could do anything, you know. So I think that's going to be really cool.
Yeah, I'm gassed. There's a lot of Krumpers as well over there.
Is there?
Yeah, I think.
Oh, you mean in the Indian scene?
Yeah, there's a few. There's a few. I've seen it online here and there, man. But I think Verb, I think he qualified for South Africa.
Okay.
He's a Krumper. He's sick. So it'll be nice to link up with him.
Yeah.
I think, it might be Junior Sniper. He qualified for France.
Yeah.
So it'll be nice to link up with the Krumpers, man.
Yeah, we need to get a Krump video cypher there.
Yeah, man, get UK Krump on the map.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, it's Krump to the world and back.
Yeah, sick. And so do you have any, like, are you trying to train in a certain way leading up to it, or are you just kind of...
Yeah. I have, at the moment, my body's hurting, so I haven't really been doing too much. I'm gonna try.
Definitely don't get injured.
I'm gonna try hit up Beckton the gymnastics soon to just clean up on some flips if I get excited over there. But yeah, it's more of a mental thing, man. For me personally, like even training for the finals, people are like, have you been like training? I haven't like been in the studio labbing and just like I've just been trying to mentally train. Yeah. It sounds crazy, but like, even like when I'm on the train, I'm putting combos in my head, and I'm also looking back at old videos that like of stuff that I used to be able to do. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, cool, because I wanna be able to like at least in every round do something aerial based. Okay, sick. So yeah, don't want to be like, oh yeah, write that down. Sure, but just have it. Yeah, just to have, because I've got my explosive power is there, and I feel like I've been getting a lot of compliments about like my power and explosiveness. So it's just being able to contain it to then explode. But more so a mental thing, because it's gonna be hot over there, man. Yeah. It's gonna be hot. I can remember I went to Athens with Boy Blue, and it was like the heat wave, and we done like a half an hour set outside. And I was like, yeah, it changes, like those little things change. Yeah, it changes. It changes. So need to jump back in the gym to work on my stamina again. Yeah. But yeah, it's just more of a mental thing. I've just been trying to relax, because I've been pretty busy. Yeah. You know, coming out of trap as well. It's quite heavy, so just been trying to just, you know, decompress, get that like, peace mindset back. Yeah, and just chill, man. Just chill. Have fun. Yeah. I think that's just the main thing, because once you're reserved and you're composed, everything will just... And I think with Dance Your Style, it's also like, it's hard to know what's going to happen. You don't know what style you're battling. You don't know what music you're going to get. So it's more about your, like you said, your brain and your reactions. Like, okay, I can see this, like, he's taking his shoes off. What am I going to do? That's not something you would ever plan for in another battle. Yeah. With this, you have to just be ready to react, I think. Do you have like... obviously, like, Krump music would be ideal, but like any type of music that you like are more or less comfortable on, or would prefer. If there's a heavy bass and a snare, you're good. I'm all right, man. Yeah, I like double basses. Yeah, a lot of bass type stuff, because obviously this keeps you grounded. Yeah, it's a challenge though, because even the Red Bull this year, the finals, there was a few songs where I was a bit like, I don't really know this song. Yeah. But then when it got to the chorus, I was like, oh, I know the chorus, but I don't actually know the song. Yeah. That is such a TikTok problem. Yeah. I was like, I know the chorus, but I don't know. Yeah. I don't actually know the song. I know that 10 seconds, but I don't know anything else. But I feel like the way I study music for myself, you know, I can break a lot of things up in like 4/8. Yeah, sure. You know that every 4/8 there might be a new sound, it might be a musical change or something. So for me, it's like, it's just finding the regular beat and being in the pocket. So I was talking to Corey about it, Corey Owens, about it yesterday. And I was like, I've just been focusing on pockets and changing my pockets. Even if it's like 1 and 2, 4, 6, 8, dum, 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 tap, tap, tap. And then maybe like this.
Yeah.
And then break it up, break it up, break it up. So they'll just be like little sounds where I would just try to hit, most probably try to drag it out for like 2 8s. And then, yeah. So musically, I've been preparing. Like,
right.
And
so it's more the theoretical stuff.
Yeah. Just put my phone on shuffle. And sometimes as well, like, if I get like a Uber or whatever, boss, put the radio on, man.
Yeah. Just see what comes on.
Yeah, man, put Radio 1 on Capital and just, try to... And even if, like, I'm shopping, you know, you'll be in, like, Zara or something, or Sports Direct, and, like, someone will come on.
Yeah. In the changing rooms.
Trying to be like, start twitching. But, yeah, it's just, more of a mental thing, man.
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah, mental, man. Once the mental is fine, the physical will be good.
Yes.
So...
Yeah, it's very well said.
Yeah. That's what I've been preparing.
And what's your, like, if I could ask you this, like, what do you think that, like, Dance Your Style brings to the scene that, like, we don't have without it?
I feel like it brings a very, like, great level of entertainment. I feel like it's just fun. The music obviously is pros and cons, you know. But I do think I feel like it's a great platform for people to express themselves and just have fun with dance. And I think it really brings back the fun in it, instead of, you know, things that I feel like battles can be very serious, you know, when you watch, you know, Fusion Concept and Just a Boo, and it's like, nah, these are hits. You know, Summer Dance is like
heavy stakes,
like, but then this, I feel like it gives other people opportunity as well, because it's not judged by judges.
Yeah,
it's judged by a crowd vote. So yeah, it's nice. I feel like it's nice as well to know that, like, the crowd's on your side, you know, and it's nice to see the flags and people are voting for you, and you can see it, instead of being like, you got judges and, like, they might just vote against you, and it's like, okay, cool.
Sometimes we focus too much on that. It's like the whole crowd could have loved you, but because 2 out of 3 people voted against you, you're like, I didn't have a good day. And it's like, well, everybody loved you. You had a great day. Like, you know what I mean?
Everyone loved you. I thought you should have won. So
exactly.
Like,
I said that a while ago, but I think that's one of my favorite things about Dance Your Style is, like, you see people that, like, you don't usually see either in the battle, or you see them succeed in times that you wouldn't usually. It's like, oh, this person might not have beat that person any other time, but in this they do. And it's like, that's kind of nice actually, because it's like, it's not for no reason. It's like like we were saying, that there's a skill set to stage presence and performance. So it's nice to see that rewarded, because some people have amazing stage presence, but it's like, oh, but your technique wasn't as perfect, and so you lose. And it's like, it's nice to have this also, you know.
Because, like, in battles, a lot of people are looking at the floor. I think I noticed that a lot at the OV, and I was just like,
it's like, look up.
Like,
It's really true, and it makes such a difference to, like, how you present your dance.
I know that obviously, you know, with battles like that, it's very much about the dance and the dance kind of only, but I feel like Dance Your Style really helps with, like, people bringing out their personalities within their craft and their showmanship. Man, it's just fun. Like, even, like, when I watched, like, last year's, you know, finals, and when I think I went to the year J-Funk won in Dalston, like, I think I went to watch and stuff like that. It's just fun.
That was a great event, actually.
It's fun. It's so nice. That venue was quite nice as well. It was very very intimate, but it's like,
I like that. I know the benefits of an outdoor one, but I like the indoor one keeps the energy in, and it's like,
I do like the outdoor ones as well, because obviously you got, like, passing people by.
You bring more people, which is again brings energy.
Brings the energy. But the intimate space is like,
but I said it's also what we're used to. So it's like you're like, this is the
used to dark reds, or like, you know what I mean, smoky rooms.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Sweatbox.
For real. All right, well, I think, you know, it's going to be really sick. I'm super excited to be there with you and to be able to, I mean, like, as much as I'm not behind the camera, I'm going to be behind you, supporting you. So I'm super happy that at least you got me. Even if you don't meet anyone else, I can be like, I'm the one guy screaming. Who's that crazy guy behind him? But yeah, I'm just excited to kind of like see the journey, and like I know there's going to be loads of cool dancers out there anyway that we're going to be able to speak to and meet. Anyone that wants to kind of follow Kyron's journey out in India, check out the capsule. We'll be Insta story and stuff. We'll be all the behind the scenes jokes and stuff. We'll hopefully make some content when we're out there, link up with some dancers. But yeah, man, just it's super nice to see you. Like I was so happy to see you win the UK finals, because I was like, again, knowing dance and seeing the crowd, sometimes I'm like, I hope the crowd see what I'm seeing. You know what I mean? Because I was like, he's winning. I hope the crowd see that he's winning. You know what I mean? And they did, and you go all the way through, and I was like, okay, cool, yeah, he really deserved that one. So I'm happy to see that. I'm super excited to like see what you do out in India and see the crowd like receive you.
Yeah.
But yeah, congrats, man. Looking forward to traveling with you, and see you soon.
See you soon.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. And like I said, check us out on the capsule. Check out Kyron's pages. Shout out to Red Bull UK and Red Bull in general, because they're going to be hosting us out in India. And yeah, get in contact if you're going to be out in India to either of us, and we'll link up. And that's all. Tune in next week. Peace, guys.